Hello world, it's Barbie Lee. It is Shake Talk time. Right? Crowd goes wild. Crowd goes wild. All right, good evening. It is Shake Talk time. Oh, man, tuck me in here. All right, that's wrong kind of show, right? Hey, tonight's topic is attachments. Attachments. What the heck? What's this all about? Attachments. So this morning, I had a shower and I grabbed my towel and I said to my husband, I'm like, oh, it's not so soft. It's losing its softness, right? And he looks at me, and goes, how freaking old is that towel? I'm like, at least since 2007, so it's 2025. I'm like 18 years old. And he looks at me. Here's my towel. I brought it in for a visual. I know, I never bring in visuals. Tonight I brought a visual. This is my towel. And you can see, I don't know if you can see, it's getting kind of, Anyways, it used to have a little ribbing on the side and an edge piece here with flowers and stuff like that. I used to have all this stuff. And here's the thing, I love my towel. Why do I love my towel? Because it's not too fluffy. It's not one of those stupid microfiber things. It's a good thickness of towel. It dries me. I can wrap my hair in it. It fits around my body. It wraps. It's not just a little bit. There's a lot of things I love about my towel. But you know what? It might be time to say goodbye to my towel. When we moved to Playa, I don't think this towel is coming with me. I'm starting to notice a little more see-throughness. Is that a word? See-throughness in my towel. But I'm attached to this towel. It's a towel. But here's how special this towel is. It's not really special. It's just a towel. When we went on our year trip back in 2007, I'd left some towels in the dryer of my condo before I left. And a friend of mine that was meeting me in Vegas actually went to my house, got the stuff that I left in the dryer, and then brought it to Vegas with me because I wanted my towel. There's a couple other pieces of clothing in there too, right? And so I know I've had the towel since 2007. That one I already know. How long before that? I have no idea. This towel could be 20 years old, at least, right? Why am I attached? Because I'm attached. And I listed you a bunch of reasons, right? So here's my point. What kind of attachments do you have? Do I have? I'm talking to me. I always tell you that I'm talking to me, right? When I am on here, I talk to me because I'm looking at me. No one's talking to me. You're all just staring at me, I think. There's some people watching. You're not saying hello. You should probably say hi. That'd be the polite thing to do. Anyway, so when I'm talking and I say you, I really mean me. So what am I attached to? What is it that is about this towel that I'm attached to? So I can list you all the things. But then I go, it's kind of old. It's probably time to get rid of the towel. And you're like, Barbie Lee, it's just a towel. But it's not just a towel. It's an attachment. And this is what I'm talking about tonight. What are attachments? Yay! Bonnie said hi to me. Hi, Bonnie. So I'm talking about what kind of attachments do you have? And do they serve you or don't they? Now, this is just a towel, okay? And actually, I'm going to show you. Because it has butterflies. Can you see the butterflies? Like, you can see why I love my towel. It hugs me in butterflies like every day, and it like sometimes 3 times a day with freaking menopause. But it has these beautiful butterflies, So I get to hug myself in butterflies. There's a lot of things I love about my towel. So I am attached to this towel. But it's just a towel. Hey, Dana. It is just a towel. But it's the attachment to the towel. It's the attachment to how I feel, how it covers me, how it does everything I need to do. Is there something else out there that will do the same? Probably. Do I have to go looking for it? Probably. Do I have really good substitute towels? Yes, I do. So what's my attachment to this towel? Why am I doing a shake talk about a freaking towel? Because it's not about the towel. You get that, right? Do you get that attachments aren't about the thing? It's about how that thing makes you feel. Okay? It's just a towel. It's just, I keep saying that, it's just a towel. Maybe I'll believe it. It's just a towel. but it's the feeling. It's the sense of comfortability. It's the sense that I've had this towel forever and all the reasons that I love about it. Mostly the thing I love about it is it wraps my entire body. And I can go to where, like when it's cold out, I can go to wherever my electric heater is and go be warm, right? I have a Florida towel and an Isagenix towel right over there. Totally can use one of those. I have another blue towel that has, I could use that. They're all just fine. But I have an attachment. Is this a bad thing? No, it's just a towel. But what if I had an attachment to something that wasn't good for me? What if I had an attachment to a bad habit? Smoking, drinking, drugs, illegal drugs, being mean, whatever it is. Like what if I had an attachment to, being in somebody's life that didn't treat me well, right? What if I had those kind of attachments? Would it seem as silly? It's not, right? It's not. It's silly to be attached to a towel, but an attachment is an attachment. Michael Beckwith says, he uses the line, every delay is delicious. I love that line. Every delay is delicious, because he says when something is holding you back or stopping you or whatever, there's a reason for it. So traffic or a red light, or you have to wait for a funeral procession or whatever. Dwayne and I passed one the other day. We're like, what? Then we realized it was a funeral procession. We didn't pass it. They passed us. Anyhow. So what are the things that you, Barbie Lee, and whoever's watching, are attached to? And is it a good attachment or is it a bad attachment? So for example, my shakes, good attachment, right? I love my Isagenix shakes. I've been eating them for nearly 20 years. Protein, fats, carbs, beautiful meal. I'm attached to that because I know how they make me feel. I know I get to create an income, right? I can buy a couple $100 worth of Isagenix foods, help others do the same, and make some money. Like, hello, there's nothing wrong with that at all. So that's a good attachment. A bad attachment would be, maybe after, at the age of 56, I decided to take up drinking, alcohol. That would be a bad thing, because my body it would just be bad for me. I just couldn't imagine, right? Some people sometimes say, Barbara, I couldn't imagine you drunk. I'm like, right? Anyhow, so a bad attachment. Maybe I don't like, okay, I'll give you an example. When I was back in Canada, I hated the cold. I hated the winters. I would be miserable during the winters. But I had an attachment to what I thought should be. Dwayne had a job, Taylor Ray was in school, Rydell was in school, so obviously I should be in Edmonton. I had this attachment to what I thought it should be. So as soon as Taylor Ray graduated and Rydell was already gone away, I said, Dwayne, hey, now what? And we could let go of the attachments, right? We had a condo, we had cars, we had that Canadian life thing. And let go of the attachment. And what happened? We got to move to Mexico, right? Our whole world changed. And this is what I'm going to ask you to think about tonight. What are you attached to? And is it a good attachment or a bad attachment? I was talking to a lady, and I've been doing so many networking calls lately. It's been an absolute hoot and a half. And I was talking to a lady the other day that, she said, well, it's my family. Just like, well, that explains it. I just have to because it's my family. And I said, you can choose what you do, even with your family. Like, you don't have to, oh, no, it's my family. And so she had an attachment to what family meant, right? She wasn't happy. We were talking about something, and, based on the beginning, she didn't, give any more than that, but based on what we were talking about, she was not impressed that she had to do this with her family, but she had an attachment to what she thought family meant. And I was like, okay, it's her attachment, don't know her that well. Maybe over time we'll have a different conversation. But that would be an unhealthy attachment, right? Now, I'm not saying don't be attached to your family. I said, but don't be attached to the obligations or the impressions that don't serve you, right? I tell people all the time, I am selflessly selfish because I take care of me first. I had to let go of a lot of attachments to who I thought I was supposed to be, or what I thought I was supposed to do, or where I thought I was supposed to go, right? You know how many times people called me insane when I left teaching to pursue my network marketing? Was it insane? I don't know. I kind of like my life. I'm going to go with no. It was exactly what I needed to do. But a lot of people in my world had an attachment to me staying the same, just to me staying where I was, right, in the teaching. When I did Peak Potentials, even when I left there, a lot of people said, no, you're so good at this. This is your thing. But I moved on, right? Same thing, I'm moving from Mazatlan. And people have attachments to, me Mazatlan, that's what we call it. Like, when it's, it's my Mazatlan, I'm so in love with it. And they have attachments to that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't have that same attachment. The problem would be is when or if they try to force their attachments onto me. Now that opens up a whole other ball of beans. No, can of beans, ball of wax, something. There's some expression that my menopause brain is not pulling up. That's a whole other hill of beans, a whole other ball of wax. Isn't it ball of wax? Someone's going to tell me. Someone's going to post below and say, yes, Barbie Lee, you're brilliant. It was ball of wax. Hill of beans, can of beans. I don't know. Husband's not listening to me. He can't help me either. Now I lost my train of thought. Oh, being attached to, trying to get others to do what you do or think what you do. You have an attachment to you being right and your opinions being right and trying to force others to do the same. That's a whole other conversation. Not going to get into that today. But you know where I could go with it, right? So I challenge you today, tomorrow, I don't know, for the rest of your life, look at things that you do. Look at things that you say. Look at the products that you purchase on a regular basis. Look at your bath towel. And what are you attached to? And you only have 2 questions. Is it serving me, yes or no? If it's yes, then do more of that. And if it's no, what are you going to do about it? That's it. It's super simple, right? If it's a no, it's not serving me. So what are you going to do about it? Well, now there's some steps to take place, right? Now maybe there needs to be a conversation with an outside party to help you because, the instructions are on the outside of the box and you live in your box, right? So maybe it's a conversation with somebody. Maybe it's a baby step, right? I was talking to a lady today about I don't even know how we got there. And I said, so where do you want to travel next? And she's like, I don't really know, right? And I said, well, I don't really know where I'm going to go. I said, but I started looking at things, right? I follow travel people on Instagram and Facebook. And I start looking at plane fares or Airbnbs. Oh, look how cheap this city is. Oh my God, we should go to this city. Or this has the coolest, it had some sort of, we were looking at China, doing that the other day. And it has this like outdoor ladder thing that's like, freaked me out, but I'm totally doing it when we get to China. Anyhow, but I start looking forward to the things that I want to do so that when the time is right, and it's always right, there will always be the perfect time, we'll just go ahead and there'll be no attachments. They'll be just like, let's do this, because I've already seen it in my mind's eye, so I won't be attached to, we can't do this, no. Because I'm preparing myself, I'm preparing my brain. And this is one of the strategies that I use to release attachments. So for example, my towel. I'm going to appreciate it every day that I use it for the next 31 days or 29 days before we move. And then I'm going to get rid of my towel before we move. That's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to make it a process. And I know you're still thinking, Barbie Lee, stop talking about your damn towel. It's not about the towel. It's about how I, Barbie Lee, process my attachments. Ooh, my speaker just went off. Maybe that's a good place to stop. Let me know about your attachments. And if you want to talk about them, let me know. Oh, wait.